Good morning. Good morning. It is a sunny Monday morning here in southern Appalachia. The sun's shining. We're going to hit a high of mid-60s today. So make sure you get out and enjoy some sunshine. I've got my coffee and I'm ready to hang out with you guys here for just a little bit today on my very first YouTube Live. I've been doing lives over on Facebook for a while. They're changing some of the rules and platforms, and I want these videos to be helpful and to be here for a long time. Facebook decided they wanted to delete our videos after 30 days. So I'm moving everything to this platform for my live videos. So I appreciate all of the folks that come along and join me for this journey. And I want to welcome you, and if you're seeing this video later, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if this is a video that resonates with you. And I want this first video to be something of value that you can take with you today after you finish watching this video, or even during this video, where some things may change for you in your mind and your mindset and these old patterns that you've been running. And let's see if we can break this negative trance that you've been under on dealing with anxiety and self-doubt. Because a lot of people come to see me for help with anxiety and with self-doubt, really, because they have a hard time dealing with those feelings. And I understand that anxiety and self-doubt can feel like chains being wrapped around you, or wrapped around your mind, just tightening their grip every time you second guess yourself, every time you overanalyze a situation, every time you allow fear to stop you from moving forward. And I understand that feeling. I've been there. We've all felt that at some time. And the worst part of that feeling is you begin to believe that these chains are actually a part of who you are. And you start telling yourself different things like, well, I've always been an anxious person. Or maybe you're telling yourself, I just don't have the confidence that other people do. Or I just can't help but worry about everything. And before long, these thoughts, this pattern of thinking becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it's nothing more than a negative trance. And I've talked about trance in many of my other videos. Again, we are in and out of trances all day long. There's nothing magic or special about a trance in itself. It's the tools that we use while we're in the trance. And when you're constantly thinking these negative thoughts, then you put yourself in a negative trance and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But the truth is anxiety and self-doubt that you're experiencing is not a part of who you are. It's not your identity. It's just negative trances. It's these mental loops that you've been conditioned to fall into time and time again. And just like any other trance, this trance can be broken. So in today's video, I want to explore a few things and see if we can help break free of those trances. I want to look at what is anxiety and what self-doubt really are. And why they feel so real. And then I want to look at your brain. And we're not going to open anything up, I promise. But we want to look at your brain and see how it actually reinforces these patterns once they get started. And we're going to look at this trance of self-doubt and see why it's so hard for many to break. And then I'm going to give you some proven techniques and tools that will help you break free and actually step into that feeling of confidence. You know, if you've ever felt stuck in fear or uncertainty or hesitation, then keep watching, because today we're going to pull back the curtain, so to speak, and see how to finally break free of these negative trances of anxiety and self-doubt. The first thing we need to do is see what they really are. Because basically anxiety is just a projection of fear into the future. It's your brain trying to predict the worst case scenario so that you can prepare for them. The problem is your mind is so good at creating these worst case scenarios that it treats them like real threats. To your body, whether it's actually happening or whether you're visualizing it happening, your body responds the same way. And so when you create these very realistic, imaginative, creative images and thoughts in your mind, your body is responding to them, and it feels like that threat is real, even when nothing bad is actually happening. And then self-doubt, it's basically an internalized fear of failure, an internalized fear of rejection, or that feeling of inadequacy. It's that little voice in your head that's always whispering, "You're not good enough. What if you mess up? Everybody's going to be judging you." And just like anxiety and self-doubt is not real, it's not reality. It is a negative trance that you're under. And these patterns are just learned behaviors. These are responses to past experiences. This is been programmed in from societal conditioning, and possibly even from the way you were raised. The good news is, though, anything learned can be unlearned. So let's look at how your brain reinforces these feelings of anxiety and self-doubt, because your brain is wired for efficiency. Every thought, every behavior that you repeat, it creates a neural pathway. That's a connection in the brain that habit continues to follow. And these are connections that make it easier for your brain to default to these thoughts and these patterns and these behaviors in the future. If you always assume the worst thing's going to happen, your brain is going to strengthen these patterns. It's going to search out and find things to reinforce those thoughts and reinforce those patterns. If you always hesitate before you make a decision, then that self-doubt becomes second nature. If you're always feeling nervous in social situations, your brain expects that response and it delivers it automatically. You don't have to do anything. It's there. It's installed. It's running that program. And that's why breaking free from these feelings of anxiety and self-doubt, it's not just about thinking positive. You know, The Power of Positive Thinking was a very popular book back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. But it's not just about positive thinking. It's about having to rewire and reprogram the way your mind responds to this uncertainty, this discomfort, and when you face challenges. And then you have the trance of self-doubt and why it's so hard to break. Because that trance itself is hypnotic in nature. Think about it. It repeats on a loop over and over and over again. You know how it is. You understand that way of feeling. And it repeats, and it makes you feel like you have no control. It distorts your perception of reality. And just like a hypnotic suggestion can shape your thoughts and your behaviors, your internal self-doubt, that voice in your head hypnotizes you into inaction. And that's why I tell everybody I am the unhypnotist. My job is to break you free from all of those negative trances that you've been living in for so long that's been keeping you stuck. And the more you listen to these negative voices and these negative trances in your head, the stronger it gets. But what happens if you were to challenge this trance? What happens if you start questioning these thoughts and these feelings? I mean, if you're feeling anxious right now, ask yourself, is this fear even real? What am I feeling? Where am I feeling it? What does it feel like? Is it movement? Is there pressure? Is it in a specific place? Is it moving up and down through the body? Where is this fear manifesting itself in physical sensations in my body? Is there color? What does it feel like? Or you can ask yourself, have I ever failed at anything as badly as I'm actually imagining it to be? And that's a good question. It gives your unconscious mind something to search for, because it's going to find the answers to whatever you ask of it. It's going to do its best to search and find, and it's not going to give up till it finds the answers to the questions you're asking. So we have to learn to ask ourselves better questions. Another good question to ask to get the unconscious mind working in a more positive fashion is, what if I trusted myself instead of doubting myself? What if you trusted yourself more than you doubted yourself? And when you start asking questions like these, then that's when the trance starts to break. And then we start rewiring, reprogramming, rebooting, reinforcing the positive things to help you gain confidence and clarity. So now that you've exposed these feelings of anxiety and self-doubt for what they really are, let's talk about how to break them. Let's talk about how to get rid of them. First, you've got to reframe that feeling of anxiety as preparation, not paralysis. Right? It's being prepared. Instead of seeing that anxiety as a stop sign, see it as a signal. It's not telling you that you have to avoid something. It's telling you to get ready for it. It's telling you to prepare. So instead of asking questions, what if I fail? Start asking yourself, what can I do to succeed? What steps can I take to make this successful? Instead of thinking, I can't do this. You know, that word can't, I do not like that word. It's a word that I feel like needs to be removed from our vocabulary. It and try are two words that I do my best to keep from using. And I catch myself slipping up sometimes, but instead of thinking those thoughts, I can't do this, you need to ask yourself, how can I make this easier for myself? How can I do this? Instead of I can't afford this, how can I afford this? And your unconscious mind starts working. It's already working to protect you, to keep you safe and healthy and happy. So use the power of your creative unconscious mind to find the solutions and make the connections that your conscious mind will never see or never notice. And you do that by focusing on what you can do, what you can change, what you can make different, instead of focusing on the problems. And then if you're constantly doubting yourself, you're going to have to, after we reframe these thoughts and things, you've got to break free from that habit of hesitation. Every time you hesitate before taking any action, you're reinforcing that self-doubt. You're doubling down on that feeling. And the way that you break that pattern is by starting to make small, confident decisions quickly. Start with tiny choices. What to eat today, what to wear today, what to do first in your day. What is your plan for the day? And start with those small decisions. They're not big. They shouldn't feel overwhelming to you to have to make those tiny decisions. So allow yourself the opportunity to make a quick decision. You can always decide something different tomorrow. What to eat? Okay, what are you going to eat today? Today I'm eating steak and eggs for lunch. There, problem solved. What are you going to eat tomorrow? Tomorrow I'm going to eat steak and eggs for lunch. Or what to wear, and you make the decision to pick something out. Just go in your closet, close your eyes, pull something out. It's still a decision, and a quick decision. You can always change it. You can always make it different. But you're wanting to teach your brain how to act quickly. So set a timer for 5 seconds and make a decision before that timer runs out. And learn to embrace imperfections. You don't have to be right 100% of the time, just decisive. You can always correct on the fly. You don't have to make the perfect decision, but you do need to decide. And the more you practice this quick, confident decision making, the more your brain rewires itself to take action instead of hesitation. And then, if you want to take it further and deeper, we can use hypnosis and tapping techniques and multi-channel eye movement integration to help speed up that reprogramming process. Your unconscious mind is where all of these old habits and self-doubts and feeling of anxiety are stored. And one of the best tools to use to rewrite those scripts is hypnosis and hypnotherapy. And by using hypnosis and hypnotherapy, you can replace that negative self-talk with empowering beliefs. You can reprogram your brain to expect success instead of always looking for failure. You can train yourself to stay calm and focused under pressure. This is not magic. It's science. Your brain learns through repetition, and it learns best on the unconscious level. And that deep focus that going into a hypnotic trance can place you in helps you to rewire your brain, to rewrite some of these old scripts, to reprogram some of those old operating systems that's no longer serving you or useful. And then hypnosis helps you future pace your confidence. One of the most powerful mental techniques that you can use is what we call future pacing, where you're mentally rehearsing yourself succeeding before you actually do it. A lot of Olympic competitors know the power of visualization. When they can't practice, when they're not able to actually get in a training session with all of the equipment and the whistles and the bells, they always have the power of visualization with them. So in their downtime, they're always using this visualization to see themselves performing, using proper technique, proper form, in order to accomplish the goals that they've set. So if you want to practice this, here's a simple way to do it. Close your eyes and imagine this future version of yourself. See that image of yourself feeling confident, decisive, anxiety free. And as you see yourself in that image, imagine seeing yourself there handling any challenge that's thrown at you easily, effortlessly. And notice what it feels like in your body. Notice what it feels like as you look at that image of you successfully handling all of those challenges that life is throwing at you. All of those challenges at work, at home, in relationships. Seeing yourself handling that, standing there confident, making decisions quickly. And as you watch yourself doing that, imagine stepping in to that version of you. And stepping into that version, and notice what it feels like as you look out through your own eyes, the eyes of a person who's confident, who's handling these challenges successfully. As you step into that version, feeling that feeling of confidence and success, and noticing what that actually feels like in your body, where you feel it, standing a little taller, shoulders back, confident, chin up, ready to tackle whatever it is, and notice that feeling of confidence and success. And as you notice that feeling throughout your body, imagine stepping back out and bringing that feeling of confidence with you back into this present moment, here and now, here with you as you're watching this video, because your mind does not know the difference between imagination and reality. So the more you practice seeing yourself winning, the more you practice seeing yourself making these decisions, the more you practice this way of thinking, your brain expects success. Confidence building is a skill. It's not a trait. None of us are born with confidence. It's something that we have to develop over time. That's just a lie that you're born with it. It's a skill, and it's a muscle that you build through practice and repetition. Just like you go to the gym and you lift weights one time, you don't really see the results. But if you go to the gym and you lift weights 3 to 5 times a week, within a month, you're going to see a difference. You're going to see results in your body and in your mind. And it's the same with this muscle of building confidence and getting rid of anxiety. If you've spent years reinforcing this self-doubt, feeling anxious, then confidence is going to feel strange at first. But like any habit, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So, takeaways. First, start questioning these negative trances that you're experiencing. These negative trances of anxiety and self-doubt. And then you've got to interrupt that pattern of hesitation. Just give yourself 5 seconds. 5 seconds is all I've got to make a decision. And make the decision. You don't have to stick with it. You can change it. But I promise you, if you start making these quick decisions like that, you're going to build that part of your brain. You're going to rewire that unconscious mind to grow your confidence and take action more quickly. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it feels unnatural, even if your brain tries to fight you on it, and it will, I promise you, it's probably already trying to fight you right now. Well, I can't do that. I can't do it. And there's that negative spiral, that loop out of control. So today's the day to make the decision, make it now, to change. Because every step you take toward breaking free from those feelings of anxiety and self-doubt are steps toward becoming the version of yourself that you've been waiting for, that's been hiding for so long. So the biggest question you've got to ask yourself now is, are you ready? Are you ready to take this step and begin making quicker, more confident decisions and losing that feeling of anxiousness and developing that feeling of confidence? Well, thank you all for joining me. I hope you found some value in this video. If you have, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my channel. And I'm looking forward to producing more of these type live videos. We may do some actual hypnotic sessions on the lives occasionally. We're going to be looking at your brain and how your brain works and how to hack basically your life to make it the life that you want it to be. If you have any topics that you want me to cover, leave me a comment, let me know. I'll be happy to create something, do a live, or create a longer form content specifically for those topics. Well, thank you again for joining me on this very first live video. I appreciate you being here, and join me again probably on Wednesday morning, maybe at 8:30. We'll be looking at another topic on rewiring your brain and how your brain works. We'll catch you later. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day.